Today I fucked up by getting a boner at my friend's party. My female best friend had her birthday today and I along with her boyfriend and his friends were invited. I was late to her party and all of the people were already present there. I was last to show up at her place. They had already cut the cake and she was excited that I showed up. She gave me a tight hug which gave me a fucking boner. I was nervous and got even worse when her boyfriend's friend noticed my fucking dick enlarging every second. That bastard added fuel to the fire when he told about my boner and its cause to her boyfriend. The boyfriend got pissed and along with his friends embarrassed me and my best friend was kind of pissed off that I got boner because of a hug that she gave me. She claims that I ruined her mood and I was kicked out of her party, embarrassed in front of about 50 people. Too long didn't read, got kicked out of my friend's party because I got a boner. This is a good one. It will haunt you for years. You'll think of this before bed in 10 years. More like before bed every day for 10 years. If you're lucky. Random boners are a thing. These people need to grow TF up. Sorry, man. That's bad, it wasn't your fault and you have to explain that to your friend. Also next time if is suitable just say, that's not a boner, my duck is that big all the time like you don't care. But definitely talk to your friend and don't over apologize. I tried to explain but none of them seemed to understand my pain lol. I didn't apologize though. My best friend regretted later on and called me to apologize. I would definitely be having a hard time if this happened to me. Today I fucked up and forgot to turn off my camera. So before I start the story, a really short backstory. In September, I started 9th grade. In our country's school system, whenever we, students start 9th grade, we have to join a new school with other classmates. In my new class, there are 37 students. This includes me, and only 7 of these are boys. I'm a boy too. So, let's get into the story. School has been fully online since September and we haven't met each other yet. Because of this, we often do conversations on Zoom. There are about 6 to 7 people in these conversations, although when we first started doing them, most of the class took part. I joined most of these conversations, and every time I've joined, I was the only boy in there. All the other 5 to 6 people were girls and usually the same people. On average, we have 1 or 2 of these conversations per week, so I know a lot about these girls. One of them is pretty weird, not like anyone in the world is normal, cause I'm also the biggest weirdo in the universe, but she is outstandingly weird. Let's call this girl Emma. So in a conversation about 2 months ago, she said the following, ignoring that I was there too. Don't ask me what we were talking about, I don't remember. I actually like to wear short clothes and to act in a way which makes guys horny. I know that I have a stunning body and I take advantage of that, cause I know that guys would do anything for me if they like my body. I know this is a weird thing to say and people will start to not believe me here, but she did say that. Before I continue, I just want to say that I'm not the type of guy who would do anything for a sexy girl, cause I will not fall in love with a girl just because they have a great body. But I got to admit, I do become horny most of the times when I see Emma. She usually wears clothes that only cover the lower half of her breasts and she does generally act in a sexy way, on purpose. For example, she often pretends that she has to pull up her shirt constantly because it's sliding down, when in reality, she makes it obvious that she is pulling her shirt down just a tiny bit constantly, so that she has to pull it up constantly, so that she can make a big deal out of it. Anyways, so yesterday, Emma, 4 other girls and me were in a Zoom call. We all turned our cameras on, and Emma was sitting in front of the camera with wet hair and a very tiny bra. She said that she just had a bath and she was just drying her hair, but she thought she'll join the call anyways and dry her hair during the call. One of the other girls asked her why she didn't at least put on actual clothes, and she said, "Gosh, I'll put some on after drying my hair. Though you'd like if I joined the conversation in time, so I did." In my opinion, this is kinda a weird excuse and she was just trying to show, cause these conversations usually go on for 3 to 4 hours, but I'm probably wrong. Although this isn't really normal from a girl in my opinion, or even from just a person who would join a call with one or more people from the other gender, when they are without actual clothes and have wet hair. Anyways, so, I was currently wearing pretty tight jeans and underpants. I don't have many clothes, and when I woke up only these were dried lol, and I was getting hard, so I knew it would become uncomfortable on the southern parts after a short while. Since I woke up, some of my sweatpants got dried and I knew it would be more comfortable in those, so I made up the following ridiculous excuse: I got to go for a few minutes, I'll be right back. I turned off my camera and mic, stood up, I pulled down my jeans and underpants. As I said, those were pretty tiny too, and I got some other underpants and some sweatpants. After I finished dressing up, I sat back next to my computer, I clicked on the camera button and, instead of my camera screen or whatever, Zoom was showing my name. I knew what this meant. My camera didn't turn off and all the girls saw everything. I was extremely embarrassed. I left the call and I only joined back after a few minutes. Then I just stared at the screen. All 5 girls were laughing, but I was crying inside. After a minute or so, the girls finally stopped laughing and Emma said, "So, which one of us made you horny?" And then they continued laughing. At that moment, I felt like I had 2 choices. I could either run away and leave the call or be brave, stay there and make fun of the situation. I decided that the second one would be a better choice. It would show that I don't make a big deal out of this and thus, the other girls would also not do so. Also, the other thing I thought was that running away and not facing the consequences of a mistake is not a great choice. Doesn't matter what the mistake is. So, I stayed there and replied to Emma, "You," then I started laughing on purpose. They also continued to laugh. Then, after we all stopped laughing, and Emma dried her hair and put on some actual clothes off camera, we had an absolutely normal conversation and nobody brought it up that day anymore. I don't know why I wrote down this story, but I felt so embarrassed at that moment and I still can't freaking believe this happened. I just had to write it down. Hopefully they won't bring this story up in the future, but if they do, I'm gonna share that. One last thing, sorry for my bad English and any miswritten words that might be cause of English or cause of autocorrect. Too long didn't read. I changed clothes, but forgot to turn off my camera while in a Zoom call with 5 other girls. She saw my cock while I was hard. When I realized it, instead of leaving the call, I faced the consequences and laughed at myself. You handled yourself like a man. Well done. I 100% believe you about Emma. At your age girls are starting to get horny just like guys, and many girls start to realize that they are sexy to men. At that age both boys and girls' hormones rule their mind, and they act in ways that are socially inappropriate, as Emma has. Better than some politicians have handled it. Life pro tip: always close the laptop or cover the camera, assume it is never off. Very unfortunate, but you handled it surprisingly well. Emma is going to be a cam girl. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but I think you handled it very well. Today I fucked up by thinking my wheat dealer's iguana was fake. So I live in a landlocked state where weed is still illegal, so we have to go really far to get legal stuff. So today I'm in need and I message my guy who lives a few blocks away. Everything's normal and I get in my car to go to his place. I've probably been there about 10 times. Obviously it's December, so everything looks a little different on account of the snow. So I pull in and let him know I'm there, but something in my gut says it's the wrong house. He texts back and says, "Come in but don't knock, my dogs will freak." So now I'm pretty shook up because I don't think I'm at the right place and I can't knock right. So I walk up to the door and open it to see a man in his 70s standing in his boxers making a sandwich in the kitchen. Whoops, so I apologize explicitly and to my surprise he smiles and says, "You're here for, guy, aren't you?" So I'm shaken at this point and I say yes with hesitation right as my guy comes out of the bathroom. Thank God, right, so now everything is going much better and we are chilling for about 20 minutes. At this point I see a really cool statue thing chilling on the table, so I lean down to take a better look. Immediately guy says, "Hey man, carefully, that thing's an asshole," and right as he says that I turn my head to look back at the iguana and it's full on charging me. My chin is maybe 3 inches off the level of the coffee table and it met my chin with 4 or 5 quick scratches. Haha, my bad I guess. TL, drive. Today I thought my friend got an iguana statue, but it was a real iguana and it scratched me pretty good. Weed dealer with an iguana. They must come with the weed dealer intro pack. So I live in a landlocked state where weed is still illegal, so we have to go really far to get legal stuff. So today I'm in need and I message my guy who lives a few blocks away. Just my opinion, but you're better off always getting it from your dealer than going into a state where it's legal. It's not legal anymore once you bring it back to your state. Crossing state lines with weed is a federal crime with pretty harsh penalties if you get caught. They will straight follow you and radio the cops in the bordering state to pull you over. It's terrible. Can believe it. I had an iguana once and the thing was meaner than any snake I ever had. He whipped you with his tail and slashed with claws any chance he got. I also half electrocuted myself one time on account of plugging in his cage lamp in the pitch black darkness. We parted ways, to say the least. Marijuana. Title caught my attention, stayed for the story. Careful, that thing's an asshole got me good.